Well, guys, our trip to Las Vegas is all over. Unfortunately, this was the only video that I could pull off because my wife and I had some time with each other at Labor Day weekend. And the store owners in Las Vegas, it was difficult because we had shows and the whole night. And we did not get a chance to actually go there at nighttime to the card shops when they were actually busy. So didn't work out, but it's okay. So here I am. I'm back. This is the Las Vegas edition, the airport slot machine edition of our show. One thing I will say about, I've been gambling for a long time, like just, for fun. Not a professional gambler, of course. And I have to say that slots is still the worst game you could play in the casino. In the sense that it's absolutely, look at this thing. You hit these damn buttons the whole time, and you're waiting for, look at this little dog. This little dog guy just spraying a little, what the hell? And this is what I don't understand. What I don't like about slots is, see how this line here is where you will win? Some slot machines actually don't even hit the reel correctly. It's not even. And this is our video today, is the discussion of Magic the Gathering and gambling. The difference between cards that are gambling cards, a gamble, and cards that are an investment. Now, let's define gambling. Gambling is, to me, anything that is 100% dictated on pretty much chance. Craps, Baccarat, Pai-Gow, Texas Hold'em. People will argue that blackjack is not chance, but let's be honest, it is gambling, and there's a lot of chance still. Poker, there's plenty of chance at poker because you still have to mathematically draw the cards to get the hands that you need in the end of it all. So, yeah, poker's a little different maybe because you can have a decision, you can bluff, but there's still a level of gambling, a little of chance. So, I will say that any of these games are just one of those things where you can get a rate of return almost instantly, right? You bet your $5, $10, $100, whatever maximum, whatever you bet, you're typically, and you could potentially win that money instantly, and maybe get some odds out of it depending on what game you play. Side note, it's really weird at the casinos. The blackjack tables now, if you don't play the high limit tables like $100 minimums, they're paying blackjack 6 to 5 versus 5 to 6 or 6 to 5, yeah, which basically means every $5 you bet you get $6. It used to be a time and a half. Every $2 you get $3. What the fuck? I mean, so what's going on is these corporations at these casinos are trying to save as much money as possible by basically jipping some of the payouts. Just for how blackjack is not 6 to 5, whatever. Fucking annoying. It's weird, isn't it, guys? But back to the whole conversation. Gambling and Magic the Gathering. There are some things that I would say that are gambling for Magic the Gathering in the sense that there is a complete game of chance. And the number one thing of gambling for Magic is, you guessed it, right? Think about it. Opening boosters and starter decks and thinking you can pull a bunch of foils and cards is always better odds to open nothing and to buy all the singles separately. But I will say, just like gambling, like the slot machine, why you like slot machines or anything. Oh, by the way, no Diet Coke. It's fucking like 6 a.m. in the morning here. At the airport. Oh, here's the airport. So you know I'm at the airport. But the odds of you pulling, like let's say an Urza's pack or a Alliance's Force of Will, the odds are against you almost always. And like the Masterpiece choice, the foil chase cards, I mean, look at the back of the wrapper. I think they actually have the, like, 1 pack out of 1,000 packs or something, chance or something. I mean, it's absolutely insane the amount of packs you have to open to get a Masterpiece or an Omnicat Invocation card. Well, now they've got out of those things for the next sets. Ixalan doesn't really matter, but I'm just telling you guys, just getting the the mythics alone, there's a percentage, and it's just better if you're shopping to buy singles to play. You gotta just buy them straight up. Honestly, it's gonna save you way more money, but you won't have the enjoyment of opening those damn packs. Pretty addicting. Let's talk about like a couple other things that I thought that were gambling in Magic versus, I would say, and by the way, you could buy something in Magic. You might have your own opinions, and put them in the comments below. I want to hear this. You can buy things in Magic, and they can go up, but there's still this chance, right? So one thing I would say is more gambling in Magic, not necessarily a sure thing, is like rarity cards, like misprints, crimped cards. I want to say foils, because the foils is just like more of a regular mainstream card. I'm talking about those test prints and different things that are just like oddities of Magic. Maybe even some memorabilia that's very, very unique. I would call those more historical, though, if they're really historical. But the ones that are just oddballs, right? The ones that are like bleached. Have you seen those cards that are? I saw this bleached Brainstorm once. So it was like, it came out like you could put a bunch of Clorox bleach on it, and it looked like it just all white, albino looking. And those type of misprints or rarities are like, like for example, the Fallen Empire's Wyvern backs. I mean, they're just rarities. I mean, we sell them, and I'm not saying, hey, look, if you collect them, that's fine. But they are completely a gamble in the sense that you have to find a buyer. If you plan to resell them, finding a buyer is actually very difficult because people don't actually collect these all the time. You have to find the right buyer. In addition, those kind of things are highly volatile, because depending on the buyer and the price point that you got them at, you may not find a buyer if you need to sell them very, very fast. And that's the whole thing. It's basically like a Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. You might as well spin this thing, and you might as well just bet on, nothing. You're literally going to get look at this, 8 free games, 12 free games. Misprints and oddities are kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you hit a really, really good, really, really great purchase, right? A misprint, an oddity that's, you trade with your friends or whatever, and you might think, hey, this is miscut, this is pretty cool. The problem is, again, the buyer pool, the resale value is so volatile. All right, here's actually a gamble in Magic that I thought was really interesting. Is some people kind of argue with me about this, okay? Argue about this. I'd probably say one of the biggest gambles with Magic is just playing the tournament scene, like the Pro Tour or the Grand Prix circuit, stuff like that. In the sense that, as like if you go to your local game store, and obviously the price pool is much less in those, but if you go to your local game store and you're like the local game store card shark, you are going to have higher odds of winning in the sense that the players. If you play enough there, you kind of know their styles. There's a lot less players, so mathematically less players equals a higher chance to win the main prize. Now, of course, you're not going to win $10,000 at your local game store, but then again, you're going to have a higher chance to win, right? And even those local game store events, you have there's a slight toss-up, right? And then you have the Grand Prix, where there's a ton of players, like thousands of players. Now, For those of you who are saying in the comments below that I'm completely wrong because Magic is a skill game and you can win pretty much if you just work your way into it, work your way into it. Well, you're not going to be able to work your way into winning because you have to also have some luck. And this is the gamble out of Magic, is that sometimes the cards are in your favor. You have to mulligan over and over again. You don't get any land drops. The mulligan. You don't get any action cards, right? It happens in Magic all the time. So it is that type of gambling in the sense that you're hoping for that chance, the chance of getting lucky to draw in, to get the right cards. It does happen, believe it or not. Now I wouldn't say necessarily. You're paying your entry fee of what, $60 or $75 or $100, depending if you've got the VIP package at a Grand Prix. I don't think that's necessarily gambling. It's entertainment, right? It's entertainment. But isn't that what gambling is? Isn't that what Las Vegas is? The entertainment capital of the world? So that's what I'm saying is gambling, guys, is entertainment. If you don't treat the purchases, the experiences that you have with Magic as entertainment, it's pretty much you're just gonna have a hard time with everything because Magic is just entertainment. Now, the interesting thought process here that Magic is an investment and it's something you can make money on long term. And I will correct something I said in one of my videos. I said in my other videos that Magic can be potentially passive income. I probably didn't say it correctly. After doing a little research, talking to my friend Edwin the engineer, he's a great guy. He has a YouTube channel. I'll put his link below. He corrected me, and we talked about it. I wouldn't say we fought. We didn't fight about it. We just discussed about it. And after thinking about it, makes a lot of sense. Magic is more of an investment portfolio income. Or invested income. So, for example, if you work at your Starbucks or your Taco Bell or airport or whatever the heck you're doing, right? And that is all active income. You're actually actively at your job or whatever, making money, getting paid per hour or pay for your salary, whatever. Then you also have, and when I were talking about it, is Magic the Gathering is more of that investment portfolio, investment income, where you basically have income that you've invested in land for real estate. You have, Magic cards, you have collectibles, art, that kind of stuff. We also talked about, what passive income is. And after thinking about it, passive income is getting income residually without having to actually work. So what would gambling be in this case? Is gambling active income or passive income? Well, I'm pretty sure I think you guys can answer that one. It is definitely active income. You have to be here gambling and taking a risk and a chance. Now, I would say though, sports betting is an investment income. And those of you will argue sports betting is one of those things, I would say, that in the casino world, and I made a bet for the Alabama to win with 7 points. So I needed 7 points, and I needed Alabama to win to beat Florida State, and they won. They met the spread basically, and I won that bet. And it's very interesting because sports betting, you can pick and choose kind of the winners, right? The horses, whatever you want to call it. But in sports, if you follow sports, it's kind of like an investment income in the sense that you don't have to be there actively. You make the bet. You can make an NBA futures bet, who's going to win the championship, an NFL bet, Major League Baseball bet for the championship, and not really be anywhere. But it's still gambling. It's still, obviously, there's a lot of luck, right? But you also can choose like what Magic card, basically, right? What basketball team? Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors won the championship. They are the favorites by a long shot. I'm going to pick them to win the championship, even though I'm not going to be able. I'm going to pay more money, right? I'll probably have to pay like $200, let's say, to make $100. You have to pay more money because they're the exounding favorites. you know, favorites of all of basketball. So think about this. In Magic, you have a choice. You could play the damn slots and open some booster packs. You could buy the singles, or you can choose to buy singles like a reserve list card that aren't reprinted. Cards that you can actually invest and make some money in, the graded cards possibly, the higher end quality ones especially. Black Lotuses, I think Black Lotuses, guys, Black Lotuses are extremely, you know, they have a chance to just shoot up again and again. They are one of the hardest currencies for people to sell in their collections, because Black Lotuses are really just the king of all Magic cards. They don't want collectors don't want to sell their Black Lotuses. In fact, I have many collectors selling their cards, their crappy modern cards, even dual lands, reserve list cards, decks, crappy decks, new decks, just to get into a Black Lotus. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Like, it is, and it's not crazy. It makes sense. They're choosing, like sports betting, right? They're choosing the best team. The best team in their eyes is owning the Black Lotus. Preferably Alpha, for God's sake. About 1100 or less, actually, because most got destroyed. All right, guys, look, interesting topic. I got to board the plane here soon. What do you guys think? Do you think I've blown smoke with this gambling phenomenon? Do you think buying Magic is just pure gambling, pure entertainment? Or do you think, in my analogy of sports betting, that it's kind of like an investment income where you could potentially win based off of picking the right teams? Just like in Magic, picking the right cards, picking the right portfolio of cards, picking, you know, the right sets, whatever. Is that an investment rather than just pure gambling? I will agree, there's always some luck, but I do think there's a lot of strategy and investment in sports betting and the correlation with picking the right pieces of artwork, cards, whatever. All right, guys, leave your comments below. I'm sorry I was not able to make a LGS Vintage Magic World LGS Tour video in Las Vegas. I will when I get back one day. And I do appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. And may your spins always be the damn jackpot. Holy crap, guys. What is it? Guys, if I spun this right now and I got 1.3 million or whatever dollars, I would literally run around naked right now. Later.